right on my tail. Uh-oh.
All right, let me show you guys what setup we have. This is specific to my car. Basically everything here has been purchased on Amazon. So first we're gonna start off, I have my radio itself. I can put the link in the description so you guys can go and find that on Amazon. I bought a custom bezel. In my case, this doesn't fit into my car exactly like it would if you were just replacing a specific radio in a car. So it needs this fitment. This will shrink the hole down to make it fit in there nice. It comes with a owner's manual. And then all of this came with the radio itself. There's a remote to control it. This is sort of like a hands-free setup, so you can attach it to your steering wheel, and you can disconnect it if you need to. You can answer calls, adjust your volume, skip, hang a call up, all that. It came with a bracket, I guess would be to adjust this radio to fit correctly. I'll check that out when I get in there. And then it came with a bunch of wires. When I get in there, I'm gonna figure it out. This specific radio comes with these wires to adjust it. It comes with this really, really long wire with this attachment because it comes with a backup camera setup. I'll be trying to wire that up too as well, just so we can have that. Put it right by my license plate. And then this comes with some screws. When I purchased the bezel, it said for my car that it would recommend me purchasing these wires with it. So they came together. It's some sort of kit. I think I'm gonna use this over that wiring harness. It depends on what fits into that radio the best. And then this, I'm not sure what this is for. I think this is for if you have a larger speaker setup, more custom. Like I said, once we get in there, we'll figure it out and go over everything and make sure we put everything in the right spot. And then this should be everything that you should need right here. In my case, I'm grabbing an adjustable. It's for the nut that holds the existing radio in. I'm pretty sure that is an 8mm. But in this case, I'm just going to use an adjustable because I don't have a socket kit with me today. So let's get into the the radio setup there and start taking it apart. All right, so now we're going to start taking the interior apart. Just some things. This is specific to my car. For this, there's technically a screw underneath here normally to pull this here off. I broke that a while ago. So in my case, I can just grab this and it all comes undone. Open that hatch there. This whole centerpiece comes out here. And then we have two screws here that we're going to want to pull. I'm pretty sure most of the older models, so like the 90s all the way through 2005, the center consoles are pretty much the same. So there's two screws on either side here. We'll pull those out. And then you can grab it here. You pull these away from the car or away from the center console here. Each side separate here. One there. And one there. So then you pull them away from each side here. And then when you pull on it, you're going to pull back and up at the same time. I'm sorry, I forgot to take this out. This is the old radio setup I had. Because my car is not Bluetooth, I have this little module here, and it runs into a little box that transmits a radio frequency. And that's what the radio was tuned into. It was really, really bad. It was crackly, and any high pitch noise, it would just totally cancel it out. So we'll put that down here. And then, like I said, you just grab this. And you're going to pull it slowly and carefully up and out. Forgot to pull that out, your little thing there, that'll pop out. And then your cigarette lighter here will have a clamp on it. We'll push and pull that. Comes off with two little plugs there. We'll set this off the side. And then right up underneath here, it's really, really hard to see. There's a single 8mm bolt holding this entire radio setup in. So if here, I can take the camera here. I don't know if we'll be able to see it or not. So you can see it right there, that singular 8mm. It's actually Phillips head, I think, as well. But once you pull that single Phillips head bolt out, this entire radio area will come out. So let me get that busted loose and then I'll show you it coming out. All right, so I went ahead and got that 8mm out of there. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's an 8mm, but you can see it has a Phillips head on there. I got my tiny little screwdriver, like yay long, and got it up in there and got it out because the adjustable just couldn't get a good grip on it. I didn't have a small enough adjustable. But at this point, it should be, in some cases, you need to look. If there's another one like that, you might need to take 2 out. Mine only had 1 from the factory. I've seen videos where guys have 2 of them in there. So make sure you get them both out. You don't want to end up breaking something. But this whole radio system should be able to be broken loose now. Take like a pry tool. In my case, I'm using a screwdriver piece here. We're going to go around and just loosen it all up. So everything should pretty much just pop loose. Like I said, it's all one system. And then if you can see behind there, there is loads of wires. Don't be daunted by this. They all come loose. So each wiring harness comes apart. This is just a single plug like that. That basically does the radio and the antenna. Over here, they're all just conventional clips. Pulling that, and then there's one down in here. And then one up here for the hazards. This one's a little tricky to get out because it doesn't fit quite nice in between those. Can't get that one out. Alright, so I will find a way to get that out here in a second. There we go. Making a mess, but there goes the radio. Obviously, all of these controls stay, but this is the main area we're going to be focusing on once we get it out. All right, let me show you what we have here. I went to the parts store and I picked up some connectors here. These are crimp connectors. So I have a crimper tool here. These are red, the smallest I could get, and that's at the top here. You just crimp it right in there all the way till it clamps tight, and that'll get the wires in there. It's a 22 to 16 gauge. I'm not sure the gauge of these, but what I'm going to show you here is the connectors I'm going to be using. Like I said, this one came with the kit with the bezel. This one has a lot of wires, and then this one here, there's 2 of them, is specific to the radio. So these both go into the back of the radio here, 1 and 2. But there is, let me see here, 6 on this one and 5 on this one, and there's a total of 11 on this one. So it is very, very basic. Each color goes to each color on this one, corresponding colors. Now these are all, this has its own individual colors on it. Each one matches up with the color on this one. In this case, it has 6, 2 purple, 2 white, and 2 green. Now this purple one has a black stripe, this one doesn't. One white one has a black stripe, one white one doesn't. Let me see here. The 2 greens, I don't think those matter which go which. And then, oh, there's another wire on here. Let me see. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm missing. So there's 2 grays on here as well. One gray with a black stripe, one gray without. Let me see. That's on here too, yes. So every wire that is on this specific kit here is on this adapter. This plugs right into the factory hole, and then that way you don't have to go cut into your actual harness. That can mess with your computer. So we're just going to be able to plug this right into here. This will go directly into the radio, and then we won't have to do any extra wiring. So I'll show you once this is all crimped up for you. All right, so I'm going to show you here what the wiring harness looks like complete. So this is the end that goes into the existing one, and then we have all of our crimps. And like I said, there's 2 of these. Each one goes into the back of the radio. But this is what it all looks like. I have them all crimped, wire on wire. Get the focus there. And then I just gave them each a little tug. Nothing really strong, but you know, want to make sure they hold. Boom, boom, boom. You know, each one as I did them. Whoops. And then I got everything all wired up. I'm gonna maybe try and keep this together in one, harness, and maybe wrap it with some electrical tape. But I want to show you here. I bought a 15 pack. I messed one of them up. I crimped it wrong. It looks a little funny. I'll get the focus here. So I discarded that one, and then I had 1 left. So there's 13 wires in the specific harness here that need to be connected. A lot of people, like when I was watching videos, I saw it very, very daunting how this hooks up. I saw some people soldered them, some people actually like just twisted the wires together, and some people just wire nutted them. So I wanted to do something a little more, unique and crimp them, and then actually keep, some tape on there. just so that way they don't come apart very easily. One thing I do want to say is if you do a wiring harness, do not just twist the wires together. My dad has a truck, and when the person who had it before him, they replaced the radio, they just did that. And over time, they all sort of like, settled, and they started touching each other, and it actually fried the radio by crossing the wires. So you don't want these wires touching at all. That's why these are fully coated in plastic. So let's go ahead and start installing this harness, and then we're gonna first hook up the backup camera, at least the wire going down to the glove box, before we go ahead and put the radio back in. All right, so I have my full harness set up here, and then I have the instruction manual which tells me which one goes where. So A goes on the bottom and B on the top, and the way to tell is by which colors are on which. So the one with the yellow, orange, blue, black, and red is A. So that'll go facing the radio. That'll go on the bottom. We'll turn it this way. We'll click it in. And then that means that the other one is obviously B. So we'll turn that one and we'll click that one in as well. And that is the wiring harness. Make sure that's nice and snug for the radio. Set that aside. And then let's go ahead and see what we're going to do to install the radio itself. Looks like we have some Phillips head. We have 2 on this side, 2, and then we have 2 and 2 for the little compartment underneath, which we'll be removing and totally discarding because the radio takes up the majority of this setup here. So I need to remove everything basically right here. So let me do that really quick. All right, you can see I have this all taken out now. I had to take this out to get to the ones on the side here, but I took both the little compartment and then the radio out as well. So we can put those aside. And then now we have to figure out a way to get this to sit down in here nice. So I'm pretty sure, let me see here. I want to see if any of these screws line up automatically. It's looking like we're not gonna have any line up right away. Yep, so that's probably what that bracket was for. We'll figure out a way to get this to line up so this fits in here nice and smoothly, and we can get it all attached and looking good. So just real quick, I want to show you all here for this specific radio, this bezel on the outside here, this one comes off. In my case, if it was specifically for your car, do that, but in my case this comes off, so we'll discard that, and that's what the new bezel is for after we install the radio. I just wanted to point that out really quick. All right, so I went ahead and put the radio in like I was saying. I took all the other stuff out. I put the bezel in here. It came with these brackets here. I couldn't really figure out a way to get them in there. You can't take this off because this is where those bolts go in the bottom there to hold the whole assembly in. So I couldn't put these in there in a way that would work best. So the radio sat just nice that there was 2 holes here that lined up. I mean, I guess it has a lot of areas where you can put a screw in there. So I just went ahead and just whatever ones fit tight and kept it as level as possible. And it fits nice all around here. It's kind of like tiny little gaps you can see through. So you can see like right through there now. But it's not a super big deal. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it all back together, put my controls back in, and then we'll go put it in the car and see how everything lines up correctly or not. We'll see. Alright, so it got pretty dark on me pretty quick, but I have all of the plugs back in. I'm not connecting the reverse camera, at least not today. They didn't quite explain how. There's some wires on there that I saw that just didn't quite make sense where they might go. So I'm just going to go ahead and just install just the radio for today. I have all my harnesses set in there today. You can get plug the antenna in, and then I should be able to push this all down in. That's right, the top goes in first. Turn my hazards on. Well, at least we know that part of it's working. So, make sure everything gets clicked in right. Okay, there we go. Alright guys, so I've had the radio completely installed. It has been a couple of days, and the reason why was because it just got too late that night, and it wasn't recording proper. It was just too dark, and I didn't want to, you know, have some cheap quality video for you guys so you couldn't see what it looks like when it's fully installed. So I'll show you here really quick. Turn my camera all the way around here. So that is my radio completely installed. You can see it's been used a lot. It is, I mean, my review so far over the past couple days has been great. I get in my car, I turn the key, and it just automatically Bluetooths to my phone. I don't even have to go to settings and do that. It just automatically does it. So far, I mean, everything's been adjustable. You can adjust the color. You can make it like a flowing color. You can change some of the settings, like when you turn the volume, it would beep. I shut that off because it was actually quite annoying. But you can change the color, you can change the sound, you can change your bass levels, everything you could do with your previous radio, just much more and much cooler. It comes with a USB, so you can charge your phone directly on here now. And then for the backup camera, you could install a memory card up in here. Like I said, I didn't install the reverse camera because there was some wiring I couldn't figure out where it went, and the manual did not explain that. So I'm going to research that and possibly do a video in the future of me installing the reverse camera. If I can figure out that wiring, that would definitely be a possibility. So we'll definitely see for that. If you guys are interested and I have not posted a video, hit me up on that and I will try to make it happen if I haven't already. So without further ado, that is the entire install video. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comments. Like I said, I will put everything that I installed here on my car in the description. I'll try my best to do a link directly to Amazon. But that covers everything. And please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that notification bell for future. And remember, it's not the car you choose to build, it's what you choose to build the car. See you guys in the future.